Welcome back to the Shukri Wrights Show. This is Shukri Wrights, and you are listening to 91.5 FM WMFO Medford, Tulsa Free Farm Radio. Thank you for tuning in wherever you may be. You'll be getting your Saturday with this show. You know, I had a thought on Thursday that occurred to me, and one of the things that I thought about, especially as training camp began for the New England Patriots, is that it's amazing how high the bar of excellence has been set, especially here in New England, especially in regards to the Patriots. And one of the things that we've seen that has been so consistent with this organization, to the envy to the rest of the NFL, is that they have always been able to solve and figure out what their deficiencies are and correct it while getting better at what they're already good at. Part of what makes you great is your ability to adapt, your ability to make adjustments, your ability to be able to overcome any and every obstacle that's in your way. And the New England Patriots have done that better than anyone else during this run, especially over the last 20 years coming on now. But with every standard of success and every barometer that's reached, sometimes there's an exception. There's an exception to every rule. There's an exception to every law. There's an exception to your standard, to even your own standard, that sometimes, depending on circumstances, it may or may not be attainable, as easy as attainable. And one of the things that really struck me about the New England Patriots last season in particular is that they didn't have their best regular season. They didn't. Let's have a moment of complete honesty here. Complete transparency. When we reflect to last season's Super Bowl championship season for the Patriots, do you honestly say that they had an exceptional year? They were absolutely terrific. Everything went their way. They didn't have any problems. They were absolutely outstanding in every facet of what they did. No. Not even in the slightest. Not even close. And one of the interesting things about it is there were moments in last season, and I don't need to relive it, that we all, and I dare for you to call in to this show and tell me that you didn't have that moment of doubt. We all have moments where we all just thought, this just isn't their year. It's just not their time. Maybe, you know what? This isn't for us. This season, it's a lost season. It is what it is. We all remember what happened in Miami, the way that game ended. we all remembered how the game in Pittsburgh ended in particular. I don't even want to, like I said, I'm not trying to relive it. That's not what I'm trying to do. But the thing that also stood out to me was that in spite of all of that, they found a way. They found a way. They still got the first round bye. They had the one home playoff game. And of course, we all knew what happened after. They went to Kansas City and won in overtime and won the Super Bowl. We all remember all of that. Great. But here's the thing. In spite their down year, and then again, and being completely honest, they're probably the worst year, the worst Super Bowl championship season, I would say, out of the six that they've won, probably their worst. Now, some would say, really? Even worse than 2001? I would actually put 2001 ahead of 2018's team. That's just being out, call me crazy, but I honestly do think that the 2001 Patriots was actually better than the 2018 version that we saw. I really do. However, with that being said, did the 2018 New England Patriots create a dangerous precedent of expectations among the fans and media in New England? And I think this morning it's a very fair question to ask. Patriot fans, feel free to call into the show at 855-915-WMFO. That's 855-915-9636. I'm interested in getting your thoughts, because if you were to actually look at the rosters from both teams, 2001 and 2018, and you look at just the talent, you can make the case that the talent was there on both teams, 2001 and 2018. 2018 a little bit more so, yeah. But it just, in terms of the precedent, because mind you, both 2001 and 2018, they went 11-5. Both of those teams did, and they both won the Super Bowl. Both of them did. So it wasn't a matter of, well, the records were identical. The quarterbacks were the same. Check. Same head coach. Check. The thing is, when it comes to expectations and looking at how last season unfolded, I oftentimes say to myself, last season was almost a telltale sign of, this team isn't as good as we think it is. Somehow, again, they won another championship. Somehow, some way. Even in their down regular season. So, does that open the gate of, we could completely dog the regular season? What we find come the playoffs, ain't nothing to worry about. Is that right? In the AFC, or even in pro sports, that's not a mentality that you have. And of course, the Patriots don't have that mindset. But because of how last season went, I really think to myself that, in hearing how a lot of the fans were talking, especially late last week, in regards to expectations, and as well as, oh, we didn't have our best year, but we still won the Super Bowl. Like, that, it just seemed like the thought was, we don't have to have the best year, our best year, to win. And then on top of that, we don't have to take the regular season that serious. It's a dangerous, dangerous thought to have as a fan base. And I did hear some people in the media, touch on it a little bit. And I really began to think to myself, is this what you really want to use as a precedent? No. Here's what we're not going to do. What we're not going to do is use 2018 as the expectation, rather the exception to the rule. No way. Absolutely no way. You don't lower your bar of excellence when you have a moment or a time that you're off your game and use it as your new reality. That makes you look weak, vulnerable, and dare I say, it makes you look incompetent. Because ultimately, what you really need is to be able to fix whatever issues there were last season and get better. That's what it's about. One of the interesting things that I realized as I talked about was the Patriots, they've always have done a great job of not being complacent. So complacency is not an issue here. Not something I'm worried about. What I am worried about is them getting too comfortable, which I know it sounds a little crazy, but yet again, with the way that the fan base and some people in the media were talking, well, we went 11-5, didn't have our best regular season, but somehow we got in, we ran the table. I don't know. That's not even what I want to hear. But what should I care about? What you want to hear? You want to know why? Because ultimately, what you spew out becomes a part of your reality. Especially in sports. The way that you talk and the way that you think, it affects how you operate. And it's the truth. It's the absolute truth. Coming up next. Oh, man. It's time. It's time to seriously look at the Boston Red Sox. It's time to talk about the Red Sox because they have really made me eat crow to some degree. I'll explain how coming up next on the Shukri Wrights Show. This is Shukri Wrights. You are listening to 91.5 FM WMFO Medford, Touch Freeform Radio.